I'd like to talk to you today about the role that things will play in business processes in the future. By now, everyone's heard of the Internet of Things, or IoT, where devices are connected directly to the Internet for monitoring and control. Analysts are projecting a huge explosion in the IoT with up to 50 billion things connected by 2020, and that from this connectivity, the world will see up to $20 trillion of delivered value by the year 2025. For many of us, when you think IoT, you think of consumer use cases like your smart thermostat or smart lights at home. But the reality is the biggest driver of this promised value is really going to come from a business setting where we leverage the Internet of Things to drive business capabilities. Now, when we think about it that way, the term we use often is the industrial Internet of Things, where it's being used for business. So how will the IIoT affect your business and become part of the fabric of your operations? Now, the IIoT is already transforming businesses today and really making some dramatic changes. There's examples in utilities with smart meters where the connected meters are allowing not only the reading of the meters remotely to do billing, but enabling new ways to do rate plans where they can be personalized based on your usage and you choose from the plan that makes the best sense for you. Many folks may not be aware that this has been happening for years with aircraft engines where connected engines as things send out thousands of readings a second. And this has enabled aircraft engine manufacturers to change their entire business model in some cases from selling engines and maintenance to selling flight time and literally charging by hour of flight time for an all-inclusive number of the use and the care and service of the engine. This enables them to compete and also allows an airline to have their costs and revenue more aligned, which is nice for them. And another example are self-driving cars. A lot of this in the news today. When you think about the technology, it's amazing, but it's fundamentally looking to change the automotive industry, where as opposed to buying a car and gas insurance and maintaining it, people will just buy rides, which could have a truly transformative effect on the entire automotive industry. But not everything with IoT needs to be transformative. So let's think about just how it can affect your everyday business process. And let's look first at a classic example of how we run a business process around customer care. In this case, we'll do a smart meter utility kind of use case. So power goes out, customer calls, hey, call center, my power's out. Call center does a quick triage, sees if there's anyone already on their way. If they are, they say they're on their way. If not, they open a repair request and dispatch a technician. All this time, the customer's waiting in the dark, though, right? Eventually, the technician repairs the transformer, power is restored, things are fixed, and the customer is able to tell because, well, their lights are back on. So that's kind of the typical way. Now, let's look at how the process is affected by the introduction of things being an actual actor or participant in the business process. So I've got people, systems, and things now are all actors. And there's kind of four categories you can consider, which is number one, how do they provide input to the process? What type of analysis do they do? What decisions do they make? And how do they take actions? I think most of us are familiar with today how people and systems kind of act in these four dimensions. But let's spend a little bit of time talking through how things work. So first of all, the input from things is continuous typically, or maybe event-driven, but it's automatically detected events. Whereas when I think about people or systems, people are acting in a transactional nature when they need to do something, and systems may be acting in a batch or transactional process as well, whereas things are all the time. Types of analysis they do. Really most things that are connected do limited analysis, if any, and it's generally left to a system that the thing is connected to and sending its data to, where it's truly doing analysis. Same thing with the decisions. It's usually leaving the decision making to an analytic system somewhere, or a person or a system explicitly making a decision of what to do. And then finally, actions are interesting. Unlike a system, a thing can take a physical action. And so the ability for a thing to replace activities that maybe have to be done by a human today, pretty compelling. So they're able to actually carry out instructions that are sent to them by a person or a system. And some can act autonomously. There may be some simplistic rules, which I guess you could call analysis as well. We call it like if this, then that type processing, where if I see this condition, I'll do something. Most common example would be if I see that I'm overheating and I exceed a temperature threshold, it's better to shut myself off than it is to break. is the most common. So things really are different than people and systems as part of a process. So now let's see what that means in action. We're going to take the same situation where a transformer is failing. Now, first of all, we start the process here by thinking about the thing, in this case the smart meter, which is sending streaming data continuously. It's continuously being analyzed now by an IoT analytics platform. And what it's looking for in a lot of cases is, can I predict that there's going to be a problem versus waiting until it happens? And by looking at the readings of not just one smart meter, but maybe a population of them, I can probably tell that there's something wrong with the transformer those are connected to. I can automatically open a repair request and also inform the customer base that, hey, we've detected something, but don't worry, we're ahead of it and we're sending some technicians out there and we're hoping to actually avoid any service disruptions, but I just wanted to keep you informed. Dispatch the technician. Just like before a technician goes out, they're going to do some maintenance on the transformer now though versus fix it. It hasn't failed yet because we got ahead of it before it breaks. Now I can tell that the maintenance has occurred either through the technician explicitly stating it, or keep in mind I was able to see there was possibly a problem through the streaming data initially. I can also probably tell when it's been fixed as well. So now the thing can automatically tell that the maintenance has occurred, and I could automatically send out updates to the consumer saying, hey, great news, we got ahead of it, no disruption, and things are back to normal. So hopefully that's a quick example of how the same process can be completely different and we believe better by having connected things. Keep in mind, I didn't have to involve the call center at all, so from a cost perspective, I've removed a whole layer in this particular instance of the need for people in my business to spend time addressing this. And more importantly, the customer was never actually impacted by an outage. So my service delivery to that end customer is far better in this case than the classic approach. So that's what we do here at Vitria. We help our customers with IoT analytics platforms and helping them integrate things into actual real business processes for better outcomes. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us at vitria.com.